What is going on? You already know what it is. Kwency Jones GO, man. Kwency Jones Show, the Flow Show. But more importantly, we just had another episode of AEW Rampage, man. So, we're going to do what we do, give y'all that comment and review the whole show. So, in case you missed it, all you got to do is listen to this 20 to 25 minutes of me cooking it up slow for y'all, man. But yeah, man, another good episode. And before we get started, I just want to give a huge shout out to 20 by 20 podcast, aka one of our great sponsors here on the Kwency Jones Show. Storyline tees, man, always hitting it out the park, always topical. You're gonna have to get the actual shirt to see the back. I ain't gonna give you the freebies, man, but yeah, shout out to McFly and everyone doing it big over there at the Storyline Tees and 20 by 20 podcast camp. In case y'all didn't know, I'm actually gonna be in town for Queens, New York for the big with the Grand Slam show, Arthur Ashe, September 22nd. So hoping to touch down with some of our New York fans is just all our connects, man. We have a lot of people we talk to just across the board, man. It's always been fun doing this podcast, having this platform, and obviously, trying to do a little bit of cross promotion and just say what's up, man. It's social media kind of separates us a little bit, and obviously the pandemic made that a even more of a huge boulder, so to speak, in terms of chips on shoulders. But I digress, man. Let's get into the review of AEW Rampage. So let me start off hot, I guess, man. Andrade El Idolo versus Pac. Of course, this was originally slated for the All Out pay-per-view last Sunday. And if you missed it, I don't know how you're a wrestling fan, because everyone else is talking about it but you. But we did get an update saying that the match was off. Wasn't too sure if it was. They said travel issues. I don't think it was COVID related. I'm hoping it wasn't. I did hear some rumors that it could have been booking decision related, as far as who's going to go over and all that. And honestly, seeing how the the finish was and how it came about, I honestly wouldn't doubt that kind of had something to do with it. But I digress. Let's get into this match, man. We already know it's going to be a freaking banger. But one thing I noticed on this episode of Rampage is Tony Schiavone actually was taking the place of Jericho on commentary this week. Nice touch. Obviously him and Jim are always good. Mark Henry always hitting his spots. It was a little bit weird to not hear Excalibur's voice this week. I know he's getting his nuptials did and all that. Congrats to him. But yeah, a little change in pace this week. That's all I had to note before I get into the match. But we start the match trading some stiff forearms. Andrade tries for the shoulder block, but Pac hips up to play a little bit of mind games. Before Andrade hits the basement drop kick, Pac hits the Casadora arm drag. That's a wheelbarrow for y'all that ain't bilingual. Follows up with the running step up Hurricane Rana, sending Andrade to the outside as Pac also follows up and catches him with the huge spaceman plancha, which I like that he's the only one doing it, but I don't want to see it every match. It loses the appeal. I remember first seeing it. It's amazing. It's an amazing move, but the way that he does it, he makes it like, for him, that's what the suicide dive is for him. And it's like, man, if you're gonna make that look like nothing, I don't know how I'm supposed to be impressed with all these other moves and flippy doos that you do. But from here, Andrade hits a big boot to slow down Pac's momentum before hitting the slingshot DDT on the apron a la Johnny Gargano. As the referee starts the 10 count, Andrade hits Pac with a corkscrew crossbody to the outside. A little bit of triangle action here for reference. Jericho drop kick for reference. Whenever Christian does a double jump to the outside. This was awesome though. I've only seen Andrade hit this one other time, I believe. If it wasn't NXT, it was definitely main roster, but he has a pretty good amount of size to him, not just muscle definition, but also height-wise, you know what I mean? So it's kind of unpredictable whenever he does decide to pull it out of his repertoire, but it's always impresses, man. Both men fight their way to the top rope as Andrade trips up Pac, who's left upside down as Andrade hits the Tree of Woe stomp on the apron. I'm not even gonna say his name. We're just gonna say he made that up. Tree of Woe drop stomp right before the commercial goes. Andrade then hits a rope hung the backbreaker, neck breaker combo he always does. lands a split leg moonsault for a near fall, which of course, we had Taz on commentary. Tony Schiavone very quickly, obviously name dropping the whole effing show, RVD on that one. Oh, I'm sorry, Jim Ross. Let me give him his roses. But Andrade tries for what looks to be a big move out of the corner, but Pac counters it into a desperation avalanche hurricane rana off of the shoulders. Follows up with the big thrust kick, super kick, as both men are down now, and the ref starts to count. Both men get their feet. Pac tries for the sunset flip power bomb on the outside, but Andrade, man, this is crazy. He actually counters with a backflip, lands on his feet. Pac is already on the floor. He follows up with a super kick right to the mush. Pretty much sits him right back on his ass. Then Pac actually countered another Tree of Woe attempt from Andrade and actually hits a big diving moonsault on the outside, throws Andrade back in the ring and hits a springboard 450 splash for a real near fall. Andrade grabs the ropes though. So that was the only reason why he actually didn't get the 3 on there. At least that's what we're supposed to be led to believe. But it was good. You know what I mean? Those spots, it really means something when people go for it. Pac goes for the black arrow, but of course Andrade moves out the way and hits the big handspring Pele kick. Tries to set up for the hammerlock finish, but Pac hits the snap German and a release belly to belly into the corner. Finish comes when Pac hits the crucifix driver and transitions right into the brutalizer submission. But Jose, part of Andrade's entourage, who's obviously at ringside next to Chavo Guerrero as well, hops on the apron, waving what sounds like a stun gun or something like it. I don't know what the hell they were doing, but it distracts the referee long enough. Pentagon comes out to take care and dispose of Jose off the apron, but as that is happening, the referee is still distracted. Chavo rolls in, hits the iPad across Pac's back as Andrade just kind of slumps backwards and gets the pinfall for the win. Post-match, of course, this is Rampage. Andrade surprisingly punches Chavo out on the ramp. It's like he keeps kind of like confirming, like he keeps making this motion like, oh, did you hit him? You hit him with something? And Chavo's just kind of like, yeah, that was me. I did it for us. Kind of like thinking like, oh, he's proud of what I did. And then no, he got decked for his troubles. Andrade threw the iPad down the ramp at him as well. And around this time, the Lucha Bros actually were out and in the ring checking on Pac. And then they left the ring, and then they hit a huge double super kick on Chavo, throwing him in the ring. And of course, Pac slaps on the brutalizer submission as we have many referees and officials trying to break it up. But yeah, man, that was the first match. Yes, I definitely have a hot take. I don't have any notes as far as the match. I like the pacing of the match. I hated the commercial breaks. As far as the hot take though, what is this? Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and Goldberg? Like, why are we going backwards? Why? I'm a wrestling fan. I love everything, mostly everything. I have a love-hate relationship with certain other entities and promotions, obviously. But it's just, I just never understood the taser thing. I'm not a big fan of everyone always calling AEW the new WCW and all that stuff, but it's like, gosh, you guys are giving them more reasons to think that. And I don't know if there's agents for these matches anymore. I don't know how that goes, but AEW, there seems to be a lot of creative freedom. I would think they probably know enough how much time they have for entrances, and obviously the referees in the ring to help, guide them along that whole entire timing issue and all that. But if there were agents for this match, why the taser? Again, I could obviously say that it may be part of the booking decision. Maybe, I don't know, man. It's weird. I could see Pac not wanting to take the L clean. I could see Andrade not wanting to take the L clean. I just don't think this was the better option. I just don't. The only other hot take I had was the fact that this opened the show. We've talked about this a lot of times on the Flow podcast. Is they just kind of blow their load the first 20 to 30 minutes of Rampage and then expect everyone to kind of like stick around for the rest of the show, which it is easy enough because you don't have a whole lot of stuff going on. You may have probably 2 to 3, even 4 promos, either in ring or pre-taped, then 2 more matches usually, and they're probably about 10 minutes each. So, you get a pretty a good amount of entertainment as far as offered in within that 1 hour. But it's like, I don't know. You would think you would get more of a better viewership as far as home crowd or people at home watching from home if you anchored the bigger match that everyone is looking to see, especially this match, because I get you wanted to give it to them straight out the gate because they already waited a whole week for it, but they could have waited 45 minutes, or in this case, they could have waited 20 minutes. I think these guys had about 30, but yeah, that's the hot take for that, man. From here, we had a in-ring response from Darby Allin to the words from Tully Blanchard. This past Dynamite is obviously he told Tony to make the match. He wanted Shawn Spears in the ring with Darby Allin, and then he was kind of mouthing off saying Sting kind of hitched his wagon to kind of a new cash cow, so to speak. But yeah, this was his response to everything. He calls Shawn Spears a generic piece of shit. So yeah, that's, tell us how you really feel. But says without Tully that he's absolutely nothing, which, me being biased, I definitely don't agree. I don't think that he's Shawn Spears selfishly is a great talent if you know what you're looking for in a talent. If you're looking for the next superstar or Stone Cold or The Rock or like contemporary to like, big time box office ticket sales, I'm not saying you're going to find that in Shawn Spears, but you're going to find a professional wrestler who knows his shit. I mean, even when he was on main roster with WWE, I mean, I wasn't naive to think that he was going to, be throwing up the 10 while wearing a world championship, and not mid card, but, I'm talking about like main big title, so, it is what it is. But anyways, says he's absolutely nothing without Tully Blanchard. Sting then says that Tully has been riding on the coattails of Slick Rick and Arn Anderson for years, but then asks Tully, why wait? Let's do it tonight right here in Cincinnati. Tully, of course, obliges the challenge, but comes out to distract Sting with some lip service. As Shawn Spears comes out, sneaks in through the back ringside, pulls Darby out the ring, and hits the big C4 on the outside, leaving him laying. I was not mad at this. Again, I say that right after I tell you I'm biased. So now I'm doing myself in here, but no, I like this. It didn't have to be Shawn Spears. It could have been someone else, but the fact that they were able to come in, I'm not saying Darby is one of their favorite toys, and that's fine. I enjoy Darby. They use him the way he needs to be used, and he shows out. But at the same time, you do need to build other guys. So if this is their attempt to do so by injecting him into a new role, a new position, a new feud, in the form of Shawn Spears, I'm all here for it. So like I said, the segment was good. I mean, Tully's never good on the mic. He just always talks like it's in the NWA, but he never really makes sense half the time. But from here, we had a Adam Cole / Bryan Danielson kind of a shared promo hyping their arrivals here. And let's get right into it, man, because Adam Cole, obviously, he's back. He's, he got his buddies with him. He says that the Elite as a group, as a faction, as a brotherhood is incredibly special and was designed for a bunch of individually talented professional wrestlers to come together and show how powerful they really are. Says he trusts Kenny with his life, and Kenny trusts him. Says the Young Bucks trust him with his life, and he trusts them. But he also goes on to say that, though Christian Cage and guys like Bryan Danielson have a undeniable body of work, he still says that neither guy can keep up with a guy like Adam Cole, baby. He's not even in his prime yet, and will wipe the floor with Bryan Danielson. Of course, we get Bryan Danielson's side, as obviously we saw him already kind of making waves this past Dynamite, trying to get that big fight out of Kenny, but says calls the Elite insecure for the way they dressed, for the way they act, but says that he's not actually going after the group and that his focus is more zeroed in on Kenny Omega. Interesting enough, he didn't say anything about the championship, so he could just want the fight. You know what I mean? He said he's heard and seen how great of a wrestler he is and would love for Omega to be his first match in AEW. It says that if he isn't, he invites the hungry roster to step up, and hopefully they know what they're getting themselves into, because if you've watched that monumental round of thumb war. No, I'm just playing. If you know, you know. And that's on Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega. Holla at me. Anyways, from here, we got what I thought was going to be the main event based on the opener, but again, head scratch on the placement. But this was a good match, man. As far as entertainment wise, and of course we gotta make Soho looking good. She got that Casino Battle Royale championship shot coming pretty soon. And again, I'm still wondering if they're going to talk about Riho. They obviously injected her into this little situation, but facts is facts. She ain't get eliminated, and I didn't go for it. I'm just saying facts is facts. But and of course, Statlander's still looking strong, even though she took the L at All Out. But let's get into it, man. Baker and Riho start the match as the Doctor tries for some quick pins, but Riho bridges out Matrix style, surprises her with a short basement drop kick. Statlander tags in now and hits a nice rebound power slam for a near fall. Riho tags back in as Statlander hooks her on her back, almost like a gory buster, but it's a double team move as she actually turns her around and she hits Rebel with some like Liu Kang Mortal Kombat style bicycle kicks. It was actually pretty hilarious, but pretty effective. We got to use you got Statlander, who's obviously of the bigger size variety, and they kept talking about how her and Hayter are probably the more stronger women on the roster, but then you also have Riho, who's just so small and just so snack size. So it was actually pretty entertaining to see how they work together on this one. From here we had Hayter tagging in, but she eats a 619 or tiger fight kick for those in the purists in the back from Riho. Rebel gets a cheap shot in as Hayter capitalizes with the big vertical suplex on Riho, slowing down the Face's offense a little bit before the next commercial break. Coming back from break, we got Hayter isolating Riho with the rest hold, of course. But of course, she is able to get the hot tag to Ruby Soho, who lays out Hayter with a litany of quick strikes and follows up with the STO for a near fall. Ruby tags in Statlander as they attempt a double team hip toss on her. I'm sorry, Ruby and Statlander, that's what they attempt a double hip toss on Hayter. Hayter fights them both off and then hits Statlander with a Uranagi backbreaker, aka the Irish Curse backbreaker for a near fall. Hayter and Rebel try for some double team now on Statlander for the double suplex, but then Statlander answers back with a 2-for-1 huge vertical suplex on both women. Again, that strength being heralded. Statlander with a victory roll on Rebel, but Britt Baker comes in to break it up with a running Meteora, and then tries for the swinging fisherman fisherman neckbreaker. Statlander counters with a big Michinoku driver, tags in Riho, who balances on Statlander's shoulders and hits a standing diving stomp on Britt Baker, or at least tries to, before Rebel just took it upon herself to throw herself over the Doctor, sacrificing her own body, which is pretty hilarious as well. But the finish comes when Riho actually goes on the top rope, takes out Hayter with a diving crossbody on the outside, tags in Ruby Soho, hits the riot kick, I don't know what to call it yet, for the win. This is a good match. I don't really have any hot take on this one, man, besides the fact that if they were going to end with the Pillman match, I personally would have opened with the Pillman match. They're still in Cincinnati. It's the same night as Dynamite. They remember what just happened. The promo. They just had Mox go out there repping for the hometown. Keep them hot. You know what I mean? Keep it light on the open. You got the hometown kid. I mean, yeah, I would have opened with that. Probably would have had the trios match still in the middle, so I wouldn't change that. But I definitely would have had the higher profile match as far as Pat and Andrade El Idolo, obviously to anchor the end of the show. But speaking of which, before we get to the main event, we actually had match updates as they usually do for the rest of the next week. Dynamite coming up. We got Jade Cargill. Been waiting to get some Jade Cargill on some Dynamite. She's gonna be facing legit Layla Hirsch, which again I've been wanting Jade Cargill to just get some normal competition. She's just been doing a lot of squashes and stuff like that, obviously racking up her experience points, which I am not mad at that, baby girl. Definitely looking forward to this one. Especially they got Layla, they've been pushing her, kind of, up and down, but she, just had a big high profile match against Camille for the NWA Women's Championship at Empower less than a month ago. So I think it's a good look. But then we also got Adam Cole's official first match in AEW. I'd call it the debut. He's already debuted, but he's going to debut between the ropes in wrestling capacity against Frankie Kazarian. This should be good. This should be great. These men know each other well, ROH and the likes. But yeah, this is going to be good. And then, of course, we have Darby Allin versus Shawn Spears, which, again, I am looking forward to. I will say that it's the size disparity is kind of deafening, so I just don't want to see. I don't want to see no Marco stunt shit going on. How about that? I kept the light, kept the cool, kept the fair. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Not trying to be a hater, but anyways, main event time. Platinum Max Caster with Brian Pillman Jr. This is actually his first time being on TV in a wrestling capacity since the suspension. If you know, you know. I'm not going to spend any more time on it. Let's just say that I guess somebody definitely filtered through the bars this week because they were just whatever. But anyways, Mark Henry with the usual split screen interview with both competitors. Asked Caster why he's been antagonizing Pillman for the last few months, which I had to scratch my head a bit, but then I remembered who he's been going at with the freestyles and who he was going at the freestyle, with the freestyle that actually got him in hot water. So it makes sense. I'm surprised that they would, go straight back. But ask Caster why he's been antagonizing Pillman. Says that Pillman has a lot of people around him that tell him he's great, but that he's not great at all. Bowens actually comes in and calls him a Saved by the Bell reject, reboot looking ass. I don't know. It's just, I like Bowens. I like his energy, but his timing always just seems like he's trying to, I don't know. It could be smoother. The presentation could be smoother. They look like two guys that are still trying to figure it out. One guy out of the two that's still trying to figure it out because he doesn't really offer anything. In ring, he does. Bowens is good, but I mean, he has a good voice, does the mic drop and all that, but whatever. Pillman responds by saying that tonight he plans on out wrestling Max Caster and wants to see if he can walk the walk, because we all know he can talk the talk. But says that tonight they're in his hometown and he's planning on coming at him at 100 miles per hour. Pretty solid. I ain't got a whole lot of notes on the promo, but let's get into it, man. Caster comes out first. Let's get to the bars. Platinum Max, I make your girl call me daddy, but I don't like the fat woman here in Cincinnati. Pillman is from this place, and it shows. A town full of losers like Pete Rose. I'm going to keep it so thorough. I'm going to take his knees out like Joe Burrow. Get over it. Skyline Chili look like a bolo as Bowens runs in and tells Caster, watch yourself, Cast. You're on thin ice. And I was like, all right, now calm down, Bowens. Calm down. I'm surprised that you weren't doing some singles work while your boy was on suspension mode. But anyways, the match starts off hot as Pillman Jr. tackles Caster down and rains down some punches before the bell rings. Caster looks for refuge on the outside, but Pillman hits the wrecking ball drop kick and throws Caster back inside and looks to already set up for the springboard clothesline. But of course, Anthony Bowens gets involved and pulls him off the apron. Caster then takes advantage and rains down some aggressive punches of his own. Got a few crossface punches and some knee drops, man. He was looking aggressive in there, man. Bowens continuing to get involved behind the referee's back all throughout the match, paying dividends, as they say. But Pillman Jr. finally battles back with a clean 10 count punch in the corner. But the finish comes when Pillman tries for the top rope dive and attack. He's lying in wait, but Bowen tries to distract him for Caster to take advantage again, but to no avail. Pillman ends up hitting a diving crossbody to Bowen on the outside, finally taking him out of the equation. But then Caster follows up with a running drop kick on Pillman, coming back into the ring, tries to set up for the mic drop, elbow drop, but Pillman moves out the way and hits the springboard clothesline for the win. Got some post-match. No, we got some post-match. Anthony Bowens is quick to attack Pillman after the win. Caster joins suit as the Acclaimed double team Pillman and just start putting the boots to him. They actually look to set him up and hit him with the big boom box, but Jon Moxley, of all people, hits the ring again to that the Cincinnati crowd, hits the ring for the big save. hits Bowens with the boombox, and also hits Caster with the paradigm shift to send the Cincinnati crowd home happy. And yeah, man, that was pretty much it, man. Solid match from Pillman Jr. Seems like he's getting better. I can be honest and say that he's not personally one of my favorites that, like, if he's on, I won't turn the channel. Not to say that I will, but it's like, you know, you have that set of guys, you'll hear the music hit, or you'll see a segment, something that's captivating. You're like, oh, I gotta let me stay and watch this, right? But I will say, he definitely is getting better. It's hard to be him in his position, you know what I'm saying? And only him, you know, he's the only one that made the decision to even get into the world of wrestling. He wasn't even a wrestling fan before. I mean, obviously he's a fan of his dad, but he wasn't even like, you know, looking to work. He's gotten to kind of a little bit later, as far as how a lot of people age-wise, you know, get into the industry, experience-wise and all that. But again, man, it seems like they're doing a good job trying to pretty much just allow him to grow and not force him into one box or another. It's already hard enough being Bryan. I got the son of a guy like Brian Pillman, and you know you don't have his promo chops on the mic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you know you can and you're confident in your abilities, by all means, but there's no need for you to kind of just act like, you know, silly goose Dean Ambrose just for the sake of trying to, you know, get a pop and, you know, people talking about you, because, you know, they can't talk about you without your dad, and I totally get it. So again, it's definitely a unique spot of his to be in, especially with his dad not even really being there. You got a guy like Brock Anderson who has his dad there with him, you know, so a little bit difference there, but I think Pillman's gonna be okay, man. Got a little bit of rub from the former AEW World Champ, and of course the Boogeyman John Mox tonight. So I think he's gonna be okay. Not to mention, you know what? I gotta give him some flowers. He was in the main event. Max Caster was also in the main event. So for y'all barking about representation, hey, you can't pick the wins. You got to take them all. That's all I'll say, man. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, man, another review, another Rampage this week. Thank you guys for checking out what we've already been putting down lately. And again, man, this is our effort to start coming to you guys live and try to get more direct and just get a visual going, man. I know we do the audio. We've been doing the audio and the podcast for over 3 years. Obviously, I've been trying to step up the content, been doing a little bit more of a visual podcast with the Flow Show, which you can do, you know, your job at supporting us and by following us, man. All you got to do is hit us up at Flow Wrestling Pod on Instagram, or I'm sorry, Twitter, and Flow Wrestling Show on Instagram, rather. And yeah, man, if not, just hit me up, DM me. You can look for me at Kwency Jones GO or at the Kwency Jones Show, and that's everywhere, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything but TikTok. I'm pretty much pretty sure of that. But yeah, man, I want to thank you guys again for always checking us out every week, for all the views. I know it's a slow start, but again, man, I told y'all for a long time coming now, I was going to get back on these videos. I was going to get more into the content. We got Doc Lesnar always on the daily hitting y'all up with some grade A memes and all that, man. And while I'm on it, make sure you go and check out the Doc Lesnar giveaway, man. All the information is on our account on Instagram. But for more information, follow at Doc Lesnar for more info. If you're not hip to the game, we're trying to win that merch package. I'm telling you, man, they got foam fingers. We got pins. We got stickers. We got lighters. We got shirts. We got hats. It's insane. It's awesome. And all you need to do, speaking of awesome, is check out his project. This is awesome. The EP is only 5 songs. I could be wrong, could be 6, but it's under 10, but it's like 30 minutes. It's a breeze, and you're going to want to play it. You're going to play the hell out of it. You want to know how I know that? Because over 1,000 people in Germany have been playing it. Over 41,000 streams to date. And he didn't even plan this. He had a cap in his head, and he was like, oh, let's see if I can hit this number. That was 2 months ago. That was 2 months ago. So again, flowers to Doc Lesnar, and definitely check out the project, because he wants to hear from you. He wants to hear the feedback. He wants to know what song you enjoyed the most. He just wants to know y'all are enjoying the moment, the experience, and just everything that went into putting that project together. So again, shout out to Doc Lesnar. Check him out on Spotify and iTunes, anywhere you go to get your music. He's on Tidal. He's on Google Music. He's on Amazon Music. you could actually look him up right now on your Instagram story and add his music to a lot of your guys' pictures, your posts, your videos, all that, man. All you got to do, though, to support my boy, go to Spotify, man. Open up that tab, type in Doc Lesnar. This is awesome EP. Thank you. And, in turn, just post up the art, post up the giveaway, hashtag it, Doc Lesnar giveaway, and make sure you tag us, tag Doc Lesnar, and just to let y'all know, we will be picking a winner. That'll be, I believe, in 2 weeks, September 22nd, the same night as the Grand Slam show. Yes, I will be mobile because I'm not going to act like I didn't just tell you guys I'm not going to be in town. But look, we do things because we do it for the culture. That's all we do, man. That's all we can ask is y'all just to allow us the room to do it for the culture. And all we can ask for y'all to just give you the room to appreciate it. Anyways, man, this is Kwency Jones GO. Once again, thank y'all. This has been the Rampage Review. Until next week, we out.